I'm Jenni Carlson here with Jason Kersey. We're at Owen Field where Oklahoma has defeated Louisiana Tech 48-16 in their season opener. And Jason, it was as dominating as we thought, and it really started from the get-go. Sooner offense, Sooner defense really on fire, and even the first quarter really got out to a big lead quick.
Yeah, absolutely. It was sort of exactly what we expected, I think, from this offense. It answered a lot of questions about the running back situation, but yeah, they come right out, go right down the field and score. I think on their first 3 or 4 drives, we're able to take a 21-0 lead, I believe, at the end of the first quarter, and really from there, the offense didn't quite produce as well. But I think you can sort of chalk that up to they brought in the backup offensive line. They tried to get different guys in at receiver. I think that sort of affected the way they were able to operate.
183 rushing yards for the Sooners, and I think what you say is right about the offense, and especially against a team that they were in complete control of. Trevor Knight, as solid as he was, the playbook really wasn't opened up for him. It wasn't like they said, Trevor, run around a bunch, only 4 rushing attempts for him. So, if you open up the playbook more, you're going to see way more diversity out of Trevor Knight, but really a lot of diversity from whether it's Sterling Shepard catching a bunch of passes, different guys doing different things. Really a lot going on out there. And the offense you got to like.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a lot to like about the offense. One thing about Trevor Knight, he didn't dazzle the way that maybe he did in the Sugar Bowl. I think a lot of that was they sort of had to be careful with him. He was literally all they had at quarterback tonight, unless they wanted to bring Blake Bell in, and I don't think they wanted to do that. So I think that probably played a role in that too.
Reason for that is Cody Thomas injured. We saw him limping a little bit to get off the field, so looks like he's wasn't available. Bob Stoops saying maybe he could have played, but I don't know how effective he would have been. They're wanting to redshirt Justice Hansen, and then obviously the ongoing situation with the NCAA and Baker Mayfield. Not a lot at backup there. You mentioned Trevor Knight being the only option at quarterback. Well, a position we also knew was thin was one of those inside linebacker spots with Jordan Evans. That's where Frank Shannon would have played, and lo and behold, we got to see the backup Caleb Gastelum because of a targeting call that ejected Jordan Evans. Really sent a shockwave through this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that was a nightmare scenario for these coaches. They don't have. Well, Frank Shannon technically is available. He's on the sideline. He's in his uniform, but he's not playing. We all know that. And they start Jordan Evans. I think they feel really good about him. And then he gets tossed, in the first quarter. So they have to put a walk-on Caleb Gastelum out there. And that's just a tough situation. And it makes you wonder what they would do if Caleb Gastelum had gotten hurt. Because at that point, you got Frank Shannon standing right over there, leading tackler from last season, and but really not able to use him. So that was a very interesting situation because, Frank Shannon didn't even move from where he was standing when Evans got kicked out of the game. So there was no way he was going in, and he knew it.
Caleb Gastelum, a 5th-year walk-on, so not a new guy by any stretch of the imagination. He'd played in 33 games heading into this game. Only 4 Sooners had played in more games who are current Sooners, but never like this. Caleb Gastelum, largely a special teams guy, so the fact that he played as many snaps as he did, every defensive snap after Jordan Evans was ejected, and 3 special team snaps, he told me after the game. So no night like this ever on his resume as a college player before this, but it's got to give some hope to that Sooner defense that thought it was thin at that position. And we got to see some other guys, too, I thought played pretty well in backup duty, and some young, inexperienced guys in the secondary played pretty well, with Julian Wilson moving over, no Aaron Colvin. All around, the type of solid performance you'd want against a team that you're better than.
Yeah, absolutely, especially with the first team. Bob Stoops talked about the backups, the second team, and the third team defensive guys really didn't play quite as well, but they're young and they're inexperienced, so you sort of would expect that. But one thing that I really thought was interesting from the defensive standpoint is the defensive line. This is the first time since I've been on the beat, and I think even before that they were able to rotate entire units of defensive linemen in and out, and they did that early in the game when the starters were still in. And the fact that they feel good enough about Matt Romar, Matt Diamond, and
DJ Ward.
DJ Ward was one. Charles Walker was the other one. When they feel good enough about those guys that they can put them in there in big moments and early in games, I think that's a really good sign moving forward for this defense.
All right, lots of coaches, lots of Sooners coming out after the game to talk about this opening night victory. Let's hear what they had to say.
I thought offensively, same thing first half. I thought we were really good. Overall, I thought we moved the football, scored points, a lot of yards. you know, a lot of third and fourth down conversions. You know, I was really proud of the running backs, all new guys, all took care of the football, ran hard, ran physical, you know, picked up a lot of tough yards and ran the football really well.
No, but I feel like it was a bad call, though. You know, the quarterback was sliding, and Jordan was just going in there playing fast and playing hard like he always does, you know, and he just got the, you know, like the bad end of the stick, you know. But, I mean, he was just playing football.
Questionable call, you know, I'm biased. He's my teammate, you know, so, you know, it just sucks for him. You know, 8 months, you know, he's been waiting to play this game, and for him to go out in the first quarter, I think it sucks, you know, but, you know, he learns from it, and, you know, he'll be ready to go next week. And it was a hit to us, but, you know, Caleb came in, you know, and filled the spot and did a really good job.
You know, it's something I've been preparing for all week, you know. You never want to see a teammate come out like that, but, you know, that's why it's so important to be prepared.
You know, I saw Trevor just throw it up, and he trusted me to go get it, so that's what I tried to do. The defender was kind of on my back. I just tried to slow down a little bit and get him on my back. I had no idea. I had no idea at all. And, you know, Coach Stoops announced it at the end of the game in the locker room. I had no idea about it, so it was great though.
You know, one of our big priorities is to start fast, and I think we did that. You know, went down the first drive and got a score there, and then, you know, kept putting it on for the first couple series there. You know, really proud of our guys up front, especially a guy like Tyler Evans, who's been out for 2 years and then steps in there and, you know, picked up right where he left off. You know, they were mashing him up from the beginning, and then I've been saying it all along. We've got 3 running backs that can do some damage, and all 3 of those guys ended up getting in the end zone tonight, and that's just a testament to those guys working. And you saw how they work together. You know, how Alex and Keith kind of set the tone, and then Samaje with his first college game. You know, it showed how they've taken him, you know, under his wing, and you know, he played great tonight.
Oh yeah, we all very talented. We all contribute tonight. You know, coaches was all like, "We're gonna run the ball tonight. You know, we're just gonna run it down their throats," and it showed how, you know, all 3 of us we can do. We all, me and Aros had 2 touchdowns, and Samaje had his first touchdown of his career. So it just shows how, you know, we're a young group, but we're very talented.